Hello, everyone. Welcome to Book Right Author, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Brooke Wright, and today I wanted to talk about something very personal to me, my poetry book called The Weight on My Chest. This book is different from my usual writing because it isn't a horror story where monsters is something outside of us. The monsters are in this book are the monsters are in this book are the things that many of us fight silently every single day: anxiety, depression, grief, trauma, self-image, the thoughts we don't always say out loud. I wanted to write this book because sometimes the hardest battles are the ones nobody can see. You can smile, go to work, talk to people, and still be carrying something incredibly heavy inside. This collection is a piece of my own writing, my own healing journey. Some of the poems were difficult to write because they come from real emotions and real experiences. So, the first poem I wanted to read, I'm going to read two poems. Um, the first poem that I wanted to read, I have to find it first, is in my book, and it's not one of the sample ones. When you go on Amazon and it lets you read like a sample of like three of the three of the poems, and it's not going to be one of those. It's going to be one in later. Um, um, yeah. So the first one I wanted to read was, this is what my cover looks like, the back cover and the front cover, and it's The Weight on My Chest, and it's a collection of poems, like I said. So the first poem that I'm going to read is My Mind Isn't Quiet. And this one is for those who like struggle and suffer from ADHD, like me. People say that they understand ADHD, but they really don't understand it because they make little snide comments every now and then. Um, it's like they don't understand mental illnesses, um, but they say they do, if that makes sense, but they really don't. But anyway, that's my first one that I'm going to read is My Mind Isn't Quiet. Everyone talks about silence like it is peaceful, like it is something everyone can find. But my mind has never been silent. It is a room full of voices, thoughts running into each other. Memories don't ask to revisit. Ideas arrive faster than I can hold onto them. My ADHD gives me thousands of places to go, but no clear path to get there. A thought starts, a thought changes, a thought disappears, and somehow I'm left searching for something I was just holding. People see the unfinished tasks, the forgotten memory moments, the times I lose focus. They don't see the exhaustion of fighting my own brain every day. When depression arrives, then depression arrives. Not loudly, not like a storm. Sometimes it is quiet. It turns down the volume of the world until nothing feels important. The things I used to love feel far away. The things I need to do feel impossible. I'm surrounded by thoughts, but somehow feel completely empty. My mind is crowded. My heart is tired. I want to rest, but my thoughts keep moving. They tell me everything I haven't done, everything I should have done, everything I wish I could change. So I sit there, caught between two worlds: a mind that won't slow down and a body that doesn't want to move. But somewhere beneath the noise, beneath the sadness, beneath the endless thoughts, there is still me, still trying, still fighting, still learning that my mind that my mind being different doesn't mean my life is less meaningful. Maybe I was never meant to be quiet. Maybe I was meant to find peace in the middle of the noise. So that I wrote this because of trying to explain ADHD to people. It's like they don't get it. It's like they just don't understand, and they want you to do one thing at a time. Like my mom, for instance, she doesn't understand that I can do multiple things at once, and she's like, no you can't, and I'm like, yes I can. And she just doesn't understand that. She doesn't understand ADHD, she doesn't understand bipolar, she doesn't understand anxiety, she doesn't understand depression, she doesn't understand these things, and she says she does but she doesn't. So that's one of the reasons why I wrote this poem. Hopefully she reads it and hopefully she understands it, but I doubt she'll read it. Yeah, but that's my first poem of about ADHD. And the other one, I would read the one that I dedicated to my uncle, but I will cry on here, and I do not want to cry right now. Um, but his is the third poem in the book. His is the third poem in the book. But yeah, I read it a lot and I cry, so I don't want to read it on here. But um, but yeah. And the second book I want to read, I mean, the second poem I want to read is The Dark Doesn't Scare Me Anymore. I used to fear the dark, not because of what was outside, but because of what waited inside me. The moment the lights went out, my thoughts turned on. Every worry, every moment, every fear I tried to bury found its way back. The darkness knew my secrets. It knew parts of myself I tried to hide. It knew the nights I cried quietly, the battles I fought alone, the moments I wondered if I would ever feel like myself again. For a long time, I thought the dark was my enemy. I thought it was where monsters live, but I was wrong. The monster was never the darkness. It was the pain I carried through it, the thoughts I believed, the wounds I ignored, the version of myself I was afraid to face. So I stopped running. I sat with darkness. I sat with the darkness. I listened. I learned, and I realized something. The dark couldn't hurt me. It was only showing me the places inside myself that needed healing. The shadows were not chasing me, they were reminding me that I had survived them. I have walked through nights I never thought I would escape. I have carried things I never thought I would survive. I have met the darkest parts of myself and still found a reason to stay. So turn off the lights. Let the room become quiet. Let the shadows disappear. I am not afraid anymore because I know something the darkness doesn't. I have already survived my worst nights and I'm still here. The dark doesn't scare me anymore. And that one was about my sexual assault. So, not a lot of people know this about me, but in my early 20s, I was diagnosed with bipolar. I didn't know what bipolar was, so I looked it up, and they told me it's manic episodes, like extreme highs, extreme lows, and manic episodes. And so it could be overspending, overeating, like overdoing stuff, and also being very promiscuous. In my early 20s, I was very, very promiscuous. I didn't have any boundaries, I didn't have any standards, I didn't love myself. And so, my early 20s, after I broke up with my first boyfriend, I was dating around and I ended up meeting this guy online. We was hanging out for a while, for months and months and months. We was hanging out, and he invited me to his house. So I knew this guy. It wasn't like a guy that I met off the street and he raped me or anything. I knew this guy. We had hung out for a while. And so he sexually assaulted me. He beat me, sexually assaulted me. Um, and so this poem is about that. It's like I blamed myself, but I don't blame myself, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what this poem is about. So I'm pretty sure people will relate to this because I know I'm not the only one that has been sexual assaulted in my life. So I'm pretty sure some people may relate to this, some men, some women, some non binary, if that's what you choose, some may relate to that. So yeah, that's the second poem I read. It's called "The Dark Doesn't Scare Me Anymore." And within all of these poems, it's like it has panic attacks, grief, like I said, depression, self-image, like self-love and self-image of yeah, and your like intrusive thoughts that goes through your mind, stuff like that. And I hope everybody takes something from this book, and hopefully they share like their favorite poem out of this book with me. I would love to hear it in the comment section, your favorite poem out of this book, and just share your thoughts with me. You can share it anonymously, and you don't have to, you know, show who you are or anything. You can just, yeah, if you want to. But anyway, yeah, so that's my book. Let's see. So yeah, let me know what you all think in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And thank you all for listening and allowing me to share something so personal. I hope that if you are someone who struggles with anxiety, depression, grief, trauma, feeling alone, you know that you are not the only person carrying those battles. Your story matters, your feelings matter, and even on days when it feels impossible, there's still hope. So I want to thank everybody for supporting me on my journey, especially my writing journey, friends who have been with me for like 5 and 6 years and 8 years on my Facebook and my YouTube channel. Yeah, thank you so much for supporting me and supporting the weight on my chest. I truly appreciate everyone who takes the time to read it and share it and connect with the words. And I hope you all like the book. Let me know what you all think. And it is on Goodreads as well if you all would like to, rate it. And just let me know what you all think of my collection of poems. Bye.